Introduction to Networks Final Packet Tracer Skills Assessment, PTSA. In this assessment, you will configure router A and switch A. You will also connect two PCs using a switch and a router that are in the main wiring closet. You will subnet the 192.168.10.0 prefix network to provide IPv4 addresses for two subnets that will support the required number of hosts. The larger subnet LAN1 requires 100 hosts, and the smaller subnet LAN2 requires 50 hosts. Build the network. Build the network according to the logical topology by placing the required equipment in the wiring closet equipment rack. Okay, up here you can see PCA, the switch, the router, and PCB. Also, you can see the table, device names table, router, switch, PCA, and PCB. Okay, and up here the topology. Place the required equipment in the wiring closet. Zoom in. Now you can see this is the router and this is the switch. Okay, zoom out. Place the router on the rack and the switch. Okay, both PCs are placed on the table. This is very good. And cable the network devices in the closet is shown in the topology diagram. Okay, use the topology. For example, switch 1, fast Ethernet 6 to PCA using a straight-through cable. Okay. Zoom in. Use this cable, copper straight-through. Okay, and zoom in. From fast Ethernet 6 on the switch to PCA fast Ethernet. PCA fast Ethernet. This is RS232, not here, fast Ethernet. Click here. Okay, you have this connection. Fast Ethernet 6 on the switch and fast Ethernet on the PCA or host A. Now from fast Ethernet 5 on the switch to gigabit 001 on the router. So choose another copper straight-through cable. Fast Ethernet 5 gigabit 001. Gigabit 001. Okay. Switch fast Ethernet 5, router gigabit 001. And finally, router 1 gigabit 000 to fast Ethernet on PCB. Use another straight through, and from gigabit 000 to fast Ethernet on PCB. Very good. Okay, and connect the hosts. Okay, hosts already connected. Hosts are the PCs, and zoom in. Power on the router here on this. Okay, use this switch. Click here. Okay, click here to power on the router switch. The switch is already on. Okay, switch and router connected to power distribution device, and don't forget power on PCA. Click here, and PCB, click here. Okay. Now, develop an IP addressing scheme. Work with the following information. This is the base, the base address, the base IPv4 address, 192.168.10.0, 24 prefix, required number of hosts for LAN 1, 100 hosts, and LAN 2, 50 hosts. Okay. On the left of the router, LAN 1. Okay, and LAN 2 on the another side. Okay, and complete this. Okay, the base IP address 192.168.10.0, 24 prefix. Okay, and first start from the highest number of hosts, LAN 1, 100 hosts, then LAN 2, 50 hosts. Okay, always start from the highest number of hosts. Okay, I will place the base network address here, the first two octets in decimal, 192 in decimal, 168 in decimal. The third octet, the number 10 in binary, is this 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, this is 10 in binary. Okay, 8 and 2. Okay, and the fourth octet 0 in binary here, 8 zeros. Now you need 100 of hosts, and here on hosts 126 is the best. Okay, the best option. Okay, so this will be the subnet mask or prefix. Okay, now you can see number of hosts. 126 is very good for 100 hosts. So this will be the subnet mask. Now, and this is the network address of LAN 1. Okay, place it here in decimal, 192.168, 192.168 point. This is 10 point. This is 0 in decimal. Okay, but the subnet mask is different. Okay, 8 bits here plus 8 bits here, you have 16 bits plus 8 bits here, 24 bits, and plus 1, 25 bits. So the prefix is now 25. Okay, and select this yellow section and copy, and fill the remaining spaces with ones. Okay, very nice. So this is the broadcast address, and place it here in decimal, 192.168, 192.168. This is 10, this is 10, and this is 127. This number is 127. So you can test here 127. 127, use the same prefix 25. So if the network address is 10.0, the first IP host is 192.168.10.1. The same prefix 25. Okay. The first IP host is 1 next to the network. If network is 0, first IP host is 1. So if the broadcast address is 10.127, the last IP host is 1 before the broadcast, 10.126, the same prefix 25. Okay. And now continue with LAN 2 for 50 hosts. Okay, and allow the next number of this. Okay, the next number of this is 192.168.0.0.0.1.0. Okay, the same bits, but here, if you have 7 ones, okay, if you have 7 ones in binary, if you have 7 ones, the next number of 7 ones is 1 followed by 7 zeros. I repeat, if you have in binary 7 ones, the next number is 1 followed by 7 zeros. Okay, and allow the prefix or subnet mask for 50 hosts. Here on hosts, you will see 62 is a very good number. So this is the subnet mask or prefix. Okay, very good. And now this is the network address of LAN 2. Network address or subnet. Okay, 192.168.10, 192.168.10, 128, 128. Okay, remember this number is 128 in decimal, and the prefix is 8 plus 8. You have 16 bits plus 8 24 bits, 25 and 26. 26. Okay, very nice. And also you can verify if the previous broadcast is 127, the next network is the next number 128. 127, 128. So that, and now you can see all is very good. And now allow the broadcast, select this yellow section and copy. Fill the remaining spaces with ones. And this is the broadcast address of LAN 2. 192.168.10. 192.168.168.10. This number is 128 plus 63. Okay, 128 plus 63 is 191. 191. 191. The same prefix 26. Okay, in LAN 2 the prefix is 26. And if the network here is 128, the first IP host is the next number 192.168.10.129, the same prefix. And if the broadcast is 191, the last IP host is one number before the broadcast, 190, prefix 26. And that's it. Okay, and record your subnet assignment according to the following requirements. Okay, assign the first IPv4 address of each subnet to a router interface. Okay, you know, for LAN 1 is gigabit 001 on router. Okay, for LAN 1, gigabit 001 on router. Assign the first IP host in LAN 1, and also on LAN 2, the first IP host for gigabit 000 on router. Okay, first IPv4 address. Okay, on LAN 2, the first IP host for gigabit 000. Assign the last IPv4 address for each subnet to the PC NIC. Okay, on LAN 1, PCA will have the last IP host on this network or subnet. Okay, and on LAN 2, PCB will have the last IP host on this network or subnet. And assign the second IPv4 address of LAN 1 to switch. Okay, on LAN 1, you know, the first IP host will be for gigabit 001 on router, but use the second IPv4 address for the switch. Okay, and now configure basic device settings. Network devices must be configured over a direct console connection. Okay, configure router A and switch A using a console connection. So use these cables, console cables, click here. And for example, from PCA or host 8 from port RS232, click here and connect to the console of the router, to the console port on the router. Okay, and select another console cable, and from PCB port RS232, connect the console port on the switch. But where is the console port? Right click, inspect rear, and this is the console port. Click here. Okay, and now you will configure the router from PCA and configure the switch from PCB. And configure basic settings. Okay, disable DNS lookup on router A and switch A. Okay, I will configure only the router and then the switch. Okay, first all configurations for the router. So PCA is connected to the console port of the router. Click on PCA or host A. Go to terminal. Okay. Then enter. Okay, enable configure terminal. Okay, disable DNS lookup. No IP domain lookup. The host name. Okay, according the table router -A, case sensitive. Be careful. Okay, host name router -A. Okay, R uppercase, A uppercase. Be careful. Enter. Okay, this is the switch. I will do it in one moment. Configure appropriate banner. Okay, banner message of the day, and unauthorized access is prohibited. You can use another banner, don't worry about this. Okay, unauthorized access is prohibited. Enter. Allow console logins with the password. Okay, using this password. Okay, for line console. There is only one console. It's number 0. And use the password. Okay, use this password. Use this password. Okay, C uppercase. This character and S P uppercase A S S W exclamation mark. Okay, enter and login. Login to permit the access. Okay, configure interfaces. Router A gigabit 000 and gigabit 001. Use a description, the IP address, and subnet mask. Okay, exit from line configuration mode. Exit. Now you are on global configuration mode and interface gigabit 000 first. Set a description. You know, gigabit 000 is placed on LAN 2, so I will use a description of LAN 2. Okay, enter. Okay, you can use any other description. Don't worry about this. You can use any other text. Let's configure IP address. Okay, this is LAN 2. The first IP host 10.129 prefix 26. 192.168.10.129 prefix 26 in decimal is 192. Okay, this subnet mask. Enter. Don't forget to enable the interface no shutdown. Very nice. And now up arrow to repeat the previous commands. Interface gigabit 001, description LAN 1. So you know gigabit 001 is in this side on LAN 1 side. Okay, and set an IP address on LAN 1. Use the first IP host for interface on router 10.1 prefix 25. 10.1 prefix 25 is 128. Okay, in decimal 25 is 128. And not shut down. Very nice. Okay, and now go back to step 1. Okay, and step 1 and configure basic settings for the switch. Okay, you know PCB is connected to the console of the switch. Click on PCB, terminal. Okay, enter, enable, configure terminal. Now you are on the switch. Disable DNS lookup on the switch. Now IP to main lookup. This is for the router. Hostname switch-a, case sensitive. Hostname switch-a. Okay, be careful. Switch-a. Appropriate banner. Banner message of the day. Unauthorized. Access is prohibited. Okay, you can use any other banner. Enter. Allow console logins with this password. Line console 0. Click line console 0. Enter. Password. Okay, this password. Be careful. Enter login. Don't forget login. Exit. Okay, now you are on global configuration mode and configure interfaces. This is for the router and configure switch VLAN 1 switch virtual interface. Okay, VLAN 1 switch virtual interface. Configure interface VLAN 1. Okay, it's a virtual interface. Okay, interface VLAN 1. Interface description, IP address, subnet mask. Use a description, for example, LAN 1 switch. Okay, LAN 1 switch. You know, switch is placed on LAN 1 and IP address. Okay, but remember, on LAN 1, the first IP is 10.1. So the second, use the second for the switch, 10.2 and prefix 25. 192.168.10.2. Prefix 25 is 255, 255, 255, 128. Okay, and don't forget to enable the interface not shut down. Exit. Now you are on global configuration mode. Finally, this switch should be reachable from devices on other networks. That means configure default gateway, IP default-gateway. But what is the default gateway of PCA or switch 1? The default gateway is the IP address of gigabit 001. Okay, and the IP address of gigabit 001 is the first IP address on LAN 1. So the default gateway is 192.168.10.1. Okay, the first IP address on LAN 1. 10.1. Enter. Okay, and now configure security settings on router and switch. Configure enhanced password security. Okay, configure this is as secret as the encrypted privilege exit password. Okay, I will do it first on router, then on switch. Okay, first this is the enable password, you know, but PCA is connected to the console of router, so click on PCA. Okay, this is the interface configuration mode, exit, global configuration mode. On router, use this password for enable password. That is the encrypted privilege exit password. Enable secret. Use this. Be careful. Case sensitive. Enter. Encrypt or plain text password. So use service password dash encryption. And set the minimum password length to 10. And security passwords min length 10. Very nice. Configure SSH on router A and switch. I will do it first on router, then on the switch. netsec.com is the domain name. IP domain name netsec.com. Okay, be careful. Enter. Local user net admin with this password. Okay, with secret password. Okay, username net admin. Okay, with secret password. So use the secret keyword. Okay, use this password. Case sensitive. Okay, C uppercase I dollar CO12345. Enter. Set logging on BTY lines to use local database. Okay, BTY lines, line BTY, all lines 0 from 0 to 15. Okay, line BTY from 0 to 15, you have 16 lines. Logging local. Okay, to use the local username. Okay, and configure BTY lines to accept SSH only. Transport input SSH. Only SSH. Exit. Okay, you are on global configuration mode. Generate RSA crypto key using 1024 bits. Okay, crypto key generate RSA general dash keys modulus 1024 bits. Enter. Very nice. Okay, SSH enabled. Very nice. Okay, and don't forget to go to part 4, step 1. Go back here to configure the switch. Okay, go to the PCB that is connected to the console, the switch console. Click on PCB. Remember, this is switch console, and configure enhanced password security. Okay, enable secret password. Enable secret. Use this. Enter. Encrypt all plaintext passwords. Service password dash encryption. Okay, this is only for router, not for the switch. Okay, only for router and okay, and packet tracer. Configure SSH on the switch. IP domain name netsec.com. The username netadmin secret, and use this password for that user. Okay, be careful, netadmin and this password. Enter line bty from 0 to 15, login local, transport input SSH, exit, generate crypto key, generate RSA general dash keys modulus 1024. Okay, enter. Very nice, my friend. Okay, and now continue on step 3, secure switch ports on switch A. Okay, also on switch A, shut down all unused ports on switch A. Okay, on switch, ports in use are 5 and 6. So shut down any other port, interface range, fast Ethernet 1 to 4, 5 and 6 in use, fast Ethernet from 7 to 24, and gigabit 0, 1 and 0, 2. Okay, 1 and 4, 5 and 6 in use, 7 to 24, and gigabit 1 and 2. Enter. Shut down. Enter. Very good. Okay, use this. Enter descriptions for all unused switch ports to indicate that they are intentionally shut down. Okay, and you are interface range configuration mode. So add description. Use any text like shut down by admin. Okay. Enter. Okay, now exit. You are on global configuration mode. Okay, and finally, configure hosts and verify connectivity. Configure both hosts with the IP addresses. Okay, and obviously verify connectivity. Okay, and first configure PCA or host A. Close the terminal, go to IP configuration. And PCA is placed on LAN 1. So use last IP for PCA, last IP of LAN 1. Okay, on LAN 1, last IP is 10.126 prefix 25. 192.168.10.126 prefix 25, is 128. Okay, this prefix 25 is this subnet mask, and the default gateway. The default gateway for PCA is gigabit. The IP address of the default gateway for PCA is the IP address of gigabit 001 on LAN 1. Okay, obviously is the first IP on LAN 1 10.1. 192.168.10.1. Okay, and hide, minimize this, go to PCB. Okay, close the terminal, IP configuration, and remember on LAN 2 use the last IP address for PCB. On LAN 2 use the last IP host is 10.190 prefix 26. 192.168.10.190 prefix 26 ends with 192. And obviously the default gateway will be the first IP address on LAN 2. The first IP address on LAN 2 is 10.129. 192.168.10.129. Okay, very nice. And verify connectivity. For example, from PCB, this is PCB, close IP configuration, command prompt, and ping gigabit 000 on LAN 2. Ping gigabit 000 on LAN 2. On LAN 2, is the first IP address on LAN 2 is 10.129. 192.168.10.129. Very good. Okay, now ping gigabit 001. Okay, is the first IP address on LAN 1. First IP address on LAN 1 is 10.1. 10.1. Enter. Very good. Now ping the IP on the switch. Okay, on LAN 1 is the second IP address is 10.2. 10.2. Okay, very good. You can repeat. Very nice. Finally, ping PCA is the last IP address on LAN 1 is 10.126. Okay, very nice. And finally, you can test the SSH connection, for example, from PCB to R1. Okay, PCB, close command prompt, telnet SSH client, use SSH. The IP address, you can use any IP address on the router. I will use this 10.129. Then the username is netadmin. Connect. Okay, password. The password for SSH is this. Okay, C uppercase I dollar CO 12345. Enter. Very good. Exit. No. Now SSH to the switch 192.168.10.2. Net admin. Enter. Connect. Password. The same password. C uppercase I dollar CO 12345. Enter. Switch. Very good. Exit. Thank you very much, my friends.